Welcome to House Money Podcast on our NFL Week 15 show. I'm Easy and I'm the host. Joining me today, T-Bone.
T-Bone!
And Chalkboard.
Chalkboard.
Week 14, 3-0-1, fellas. Great week. Hey, we might have got lucky to push on Tampa Bay, but the other three I thought were pretty easy for the most part. It's a great feeling when you don't have to sweat out that wager, huh?
Oh, yeah. To your point, again, we've talked about this before. We're more focused on the one tie. The three wins, I feel like we're all fairly comfortable.
Of course.
But the one, we had to deal with like a lot of Jekyll and Hyde Winston. That should have been something we came up before.
But since you brought that game up real quick, I thought Mac was out because y'all said that.
Mike makes a whole difference on that team. I mean, if you could run the ball, with a back like that.
Yeah.
But with that said, we may have straight up won that game. Your boy caught like a 60-yard touchdown, Evans. Never came back to the game.
Yeah.
Tore his hamstring. Got for the season.
I just got blasted, yes. He was my player, yes.
So, yes, Mike played, and the number one stud receiver was out after the first series of the game, right? I mean, it was early.
Well, we were on so many winners. I feel like if Mike doesn't play, we're probably not.
I mean, we hit the redhead stepchild pick. We hit the freaking choice cut. We were on fucking fire. Did I just say? Yeah, I did.
Hey, don't worry about it.
On fire.
It's worth it, dude.
On
I'm
fire.
not really sure we missed the game, other than
we couldn't lose except for that one game.
Yeah.
What was that one game? It seems like someone spoke of it last week.
Well,
I can't quite remember.
I would like to start off the show apologizing for Denver because I said they only come out here and play close games, and clearly last week was never a close game. So my apologies.
I see what you're doing there.
Hey, Drew Lock. I tell you what, man, he's a revelation. That's unbelievable.
I actually heard is it possible that Elway finally got his guy?
Yeah, this could be it. So it's crazy. Comes out of nowhere. I mean, we've seen it before. Maybe when defenses kind of get.
I know you have it right there at your fingertips. What was the final of that game? How much did they end up winning by?
Lord.
I know they made
14.
it interesting. It was 14.
Yes.
At one point, I think we turned down. Well, it was like 28 or something. The blink of an eye.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was unbelievable. What, like 31-3 or something?
It was
awful.
ridiculous.
9.5 point underdog. Come on and just absolutely get in that ass.
Yeah.
But I do know when listening back to the show, the first words on that money line parlay out of your mouth was Denver, and my response, Chalk.
That one's gonna come back to haunt you.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, and we don't have I know the stat guy's not here today. I think he's only here on Tuesdays, but it's like that spread and then winning by 14. So you're talking about a 23.5 point.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest
That's
over the course of the season?
I don't know.
It has to be up there, right?
Yeah, probably close. Speaking of stats of the week, dogs on the year, 111 and 90 and 6 for a solid 55%.
So what you're saying is the favorites win 45% of the time.
Yes, Chalk. Board.
45% of the time they win every time.
Sex Panther.
Thursday night. Y'all ready to roll? Let's
Yeah.
roll. Thursday night, New York Jets versus Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore minus 14.5. Total's 45. The Jets 5-8 straight up. 5-8 against the spread. Winners of 4 of their last 5, including a 22-21 win over Miami this past weekend. That took a field goal at the buzzer to get the victory. Those four wins come against the Giants, Washington, Oakland, and Miami. Yeah, nobody worth talking about. Particularly noteworthy in this game, though, I do want to mention this before I throw it to y'all. The Jets have a sneaky good rush defense, allowing 78.8 yards per game. Yeah. Good for second best in the NFL. I think that's particularly noteworthy against Baltimore. Baltimore 11-2 straight up. 7-5-1 against the spread. What more can we say about the Ravens? We come on here every week. Check this out. Winners of 9 in a row, including the last 4, Houston, the Rams, San Francisco, and Buffalo. All playoff teams. All playoff teams. Yeah. Not only winners, but covered 6 of their last 7 games. With that being said, clearly they're very good, but this feels like a lot.
I agree.
I mean, 14 and a half
do.
seems crazy.
That hook,
Yeah.
14 with a hook.
I'm not even worried about the hook. 14 and a half just seems crazy. Chalkboard.
Well, kind of segueing into the whole chalkboard and that they win 45% of the time. I know I should be saying, like, I like the Ravens. Here's the thing that would give me pause, is it's a Thursday night game. I know Lamar is a little,
Banged up, yeah.
a little banged up. You got a short week.
Yeah.
You're getting more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was to ever consider
Yeah.
taking something like this.
No, I agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the Jets, God, they're horrible. I mean, Miami should have beat them. Think about that. Miami went on the road. Miami sucks. Top 4 of one of the worst 4 teams in the league, and should have beat them. I mean, the Jets stink, man. I mean, like you said, they haven't beat anybody, but 2 touchdowns and a hook. Oh man, that's just. And you don't know what the conditions are going to be like. What if it's snowing? What if it's cold as hell? You're not going to get a lot of points.
Okay, great segue, because I anticipated you all trying to talk me into taking Baltimore. And I was going to try to talk y'all out of it by saying, without knowing the weather on Wednesday night, it can at the least just...
Well, and to me, honestly, Baltimore's been looking a little bit more mortal, to say the least. Last couple weeks, I'd say. I mean, they did beat San Francisco, and San Francisco just went on the road and beat the Saints. But, yeah, they had to eke out that win, and, yeah, it's been a little bit
Well, and I think to that point, they're definitely dropping down in class now. I mean, because their last few games have been Buffalo, San Francisco, the Rams, Houston. I mean, the last, say the team that would be on par with the Jets would say be the Bengals, and they beat them 49-13. So, I mean, they could easily cover this. I mean,
So on that note,
I just think the Jets have a better defense than Cincinnati could ever dream about having. I guess that's my thing.
well,
They've got a
probably,
pretty good defense.
and enough of an offense. I mean, it depends. Is Le'Veon bowling, or is he? What's he doing?
Yeah. Well, I don't think he's done that much this year anyways. I don't know.
Well, I feel like just with him on the field, you sort of have to respect it,
Yeah,
Even if he was just window dressing. Sorry, I know you keep asking me.
Yeah, I need to throw this out here because you're going to like this. The edge, Baltimore minus 26.
Wow. Did I say I don't like Thursday night games? I mean,
I don't know that we're going to really jump on it, but at the end of the day,
I don't. Yeah, it's not that I really want to jump on for sure. I don't even put it on the back burner.
honestly, I think that
All right, burner. Let's just do burner and move on.
There you go.
total flip flop. I mean, I like the Ravens.
Sunday night, Buffalo at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh minus 2, total 36.5. Buffalo 9-4 straight up, 8-4-1 against the spread. Winners of 3 of their last 4. They lost at home to Baltimore this past weekend by a touchdown. No shame there, though. Before that, wins over Dallas, Denver, and Miami. Pittsburgh 8-5 straight up, 7-4-2 against the spread. Winners of 7 of their past 8 games. Only loss in that mix was at Cleveland in Week 10. They did beat Arizona on the road this past weekend. In my opinion, this is two defensive teams here. Notice that total of 36.5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I personally, I think this game is hard. I think there's other places on this card we can make money. But if you made me play it, I'm taking the under. I'm probably not choosing a side at minus 2. But T-Bone, what do you think about this Pittsburgh minus 2?
Yeah, I mean, you just went through all these stats, and I mean, my God, Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin's got to be coach of the year. They start out 0-3. They lose their quarterback. They haven't had their top running back or receiver for weeks now. I think they're on their 3rd string quarterback. I mean, and to think that they've done this, it's phenomenal. And don't get me wrong, their schedule's pretty much sucked. They haven't played a lot of great teams because they play in a horrible division that just has Baltimore, basically. But, God. But then you got the Bills. The Bills just went out and beat up on Dallas just 2 weeks ago. Lost a hard game to maybe the best team in the league in Baltimore. I like Buffalo, to be quite honest with you. I think Buffalo's a better team. And I know I've been against them a lot this year, but when they went on the road and did what they did to Dallas, and now they're playing a team that has a 3rd-string quarterback, and, yeah.
That surprises me. I'm glad to hear you say that, though. Chalkboard, where you at?
Well, I actually saw that I think Connor and Juju are both playing.
They might, but they haven't played all year long. I mean, how effective are they going to be? I mean, I don't know. They still got a 3rd-string quarterback. I don't know.
He still got like a dent in his head.
And you got Josh Allen Light coming in. So, I mean, not Josh Allen Light, Lamar Jackson Light and Josh Allen coming in. So,
wow. Surprise.
I think it's a tough game to call because, like you say, I mean, if you get 60% of Connor and Juju, is that enough to, you know what I mean?
I mean, the backup to Connor wasn't playing that horrible anyways. Juju, I don't know. Yeah, he's tough when he's on, but I don't know.
I mean,
you still got a third-string quarterback. I don't know.
At crazy. Pittsburgh, Sunday night, I mean, I don't know.
All the money's coming in on Pittsburgh, opened at a pick. But I would probably be on Buffalo as well. But, I mean, this is just too hard. I think much better spots.
There's too many intangibles, you know, too many unknowns involved here, especially on Wednesday night.
We put it on the burner. We can put it wherever.
Let's just pass and roll to Monday night. You good with that, Chalk?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Colts at New Orleans. New Orleans -8, total 46. Indy is 6-7 straight up, 6-1 against the spread. Really, they've been in a free fall since week 9, losing 5 of their last 6, including a 3-point loss at Tampa Bay this past weekend. The offenses look better, but, you know, I'm still unsure on Bressett's health, whatever his name is.
Jacoby.
Yeah.
Brissett. Yeah.
Brissett. New Orleans 10-3 straight up, 8-5 against the spread. Lost at home to San Francisco 48-46. Jeez.
Anybody have that over 95 or whatever it was?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I did not. I'm not really sure where New Orleans is at right now. They've been very inconsistent over the last month or so. Is Jared Cook out for New Orleans, Chalk? I mean, do you have any idea? I mean, do you have any even idea who you like Monday night?
Well, like we were talking about a minute ago, you know, I didn't realize Mac was going to be back for the Colts. And, I mean, is this the game that we always talk about, like, is there going to be, like, a get-right game? Is this the game that they come out, win by, like, 10, 14, something like that? You know, I feel like the Dome's lost all of its mystique to me. I mean, once upon a time, you know, it was nobody went down to New Orleans and won.
Right.
But, I mean, now it's kind of like, nah. And, I mean, you're getting 9. I think Cook is out. I mean, like I say, you know, Breeze and Michael Thomas. I mean, what's happened to, like, Kamara? I mean, you know, he was, like, just is it – I mean, I guess it's kind of you see how Ingram's thriving in Baltimore. I mean, maybe that change of pace thing was a huge deal there.
Right. Maybe got, you know, less reps but fresher. I don't know. Yeah.
So are you on a side Monday night, Chalk? I mean, do you like either of those two teams?
I don't know. I mean, like you say, Indy it was a tough loss. You know, they kind of had that game somewhat in control, lost the game.
I mean, yeah.
They're professionals. I think it means more like in college when somebody like takes a bad loss.
Of course, the difference is Drew Brees going down the field as opposed to Winston, who is good. You know, I mean, he gave him, 2 or 3 interceptions, so that hurt him. Yeah. That helped Indianapolis build up their lead.
Not just interceptions, but pick sixes.
Yeah. So,
do you think that the Saints' defense at home in the Dome would be better than Tampa Bay? I mean, they're like the 32nd pass defense.
Defense can be better. Brees ain't going to make those stupid mistakes. I'm not saying I'm for the Saints to cover this. I would probably go the Saints if I was.
Yeah, I mean, chalkboard would definitely go that way, speaking in third person.
But, yeah, I don't want to
I don't know if I like it enough to do it.
No, I don't.
It may rear its head in another part of the show.
A chick. I don't know if I liked her enough to do her. Okay.
He gets a bell for swiping left.
He said I did her anyways.
Y'all can choose who you want that bell attributed to. All right. Forget that game. Let's go.
Forget that bitch.
Moving right along.
Who you like then? Y'all got anybody y'all want to throw out? I mean, I feel like we didn't really fire on any of those games right there. I mean,
here's a game I like.
Well, then go right ahead.
All right.
Tell me who you got.
Houston at Tennessee. The Titans -3.
Quite possibly the game of the week for the division, right?
I like Tennessee at home to take care of business. They've been hot as hell. Texans they're such a roller coaster. They just got whipped by Denver. I mean,
do you feel like it had to be?
They're going to go on the road to Tennessee and beat them?
Do you think there was any of that looking ahead to this game, possibly?
I don't care what there was. All I know is Tennessee's been on a roll.
I'm with you.
And you're telling me all I got to get is a field goal, and I'm at home playing against a team that's at best equal to me? Yeah, I'll take that every time. I mean, Tennessee just looks better than Houston anyways. They're playing better.
Passes the eye test.
Yeah.
Chalkboard, you got any love for Houston over there? I mean, clearly my man's all on Tennessee.
Well, we always say this all the time. Texas should be better, but like you say, they got just manhandled by, who was it? Oh, it was Denver. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
At home in the Dome. I mean, I don't know. Of course, again, this is Wednesday. Is there going to be any weather in Tennessee? That kind of stuff. That offense is predicated on the passing. Right. They're built for that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I would be on the Titans in this probably.
But Tennessee, since October the 20th, is 6-1. Straight up, and 5-1-1 against the spread. I mean, what more do you want?
Yeah.
Tennessee, Houston, on the other hand, lost this past weekend, like you said, manhandled by Denver. Before that, they did beat New England, but is anybody?
Yeah, New England's just going. You can see it. New England's old. They're not. Their offense sucks. I mean, their defense is starting to get some cracks. Because the offense isn't scoring, and you can tell it's.
Before that, they barely beat Indianapolis by 3. Then got crushed at Baltimore. No notable wins. Wins over Jacksonville, wins over Oakland.
Yeah, it's almost like they're. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
They feast on the bottom.
Right.
Chalkboard.
I would have to agree. I mean, it would seem pretty, to borrow a T phrase, this almost seems a little too obvious. Well, not too obvious, because, like I say, Houston wins this game, they win the division. I mean, there's a lot to play for in this game, but you get the home field advantage. Tennessee just looks better. Tennessee's built, I think, to win this game, and I think Tennessee, it's been a while. When was the last time Tennessee won the division? It wasn't back in the McNair days, was it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Not to get this going any farther, obviously we're on Tennessee, but Tannehill's on fire.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Fire.
Yes.
Who did he used to play for? I can't. Was it?
Yeah, another Miami player goes out and betters himself.
Speaking of fire, here we go. T-Bone, official House Money Podcast play number 1.
The Titans.
Tennessee -3. Got it. My only concern is we've been on them now like 5 weeks in a row, and they cash every week. I mean,
it's kind of like the Rams last year, riding the Rams.
It's just so funny because I know over the course of 2 seasons, like how we were always like Tennessee's not sexy. Tennessee's like what? And now we've been riding these guys, and it's like,
yeah.
All right, chalkboard. You got anything?
I'm looking around over there. I'm going to throw this out and see how the room reacts. Kind of made money off of them last week on the wrong side, or on the What do y'all think about the Raiders? Last game ever in Oakland. You got Jacksonville limping in across country.
All right.
Been looking pretty terrible.
Let me set that up for you. Jacksonville at Oakland. Oakland -6.5. Obviously, you're going to be on Oakland. Tell us why you're on Oakland there again, chalkboard.
All right, so put it down in layman's terms, Jacksonville's awful. They just seem like they keep dropping further and further. I think it really does because, like I say, I think they're really going to try to ball out for the home crowd there. Josh Jacobs didn't play last week. He's going to be back this week.
For sure?
Yeah, they said for sure as we could be on Wednesday night, but they said he's probable. I just, there's nothing that wows me about him. Like I say, I think that they really played above themselves. I think this will probably be the last game they win for the year, but I think they'll do it at home. I mean, I'm not saying we got to go on it, but I think the Oakland's going to win this game. What are we sitting at right now? 6.5? I like it better like at 2.5, but
yeah, that's the only thing that gives me pause. I definitely like Oakland to win the game. I would definitely consider it a back burner. I don't know if I'm ready for. I don't know. I think there's other games out there. I'm not saying we can't fire on it.
Well, I brought that up, and I really don't think I realized that it was up to 6.5, which...
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know.
I got Josh Jacobs as questionable for Sunday.
Well, let's just... We'll let it simmer for a minute.
Just put a pin in it.
I mean, only because Oakland has lost the last 3 in a row, not looked good in any of them.
With Oakland... There's not, of the other 31 teams, I don't know that there's a team that I would possibly consider taking Oakland against.
I mean, I understand that, but God, we're going against Jacksonville every week. That goes back to taking Tennessee every week. I mean,
winners are winners.
I don't care. Jacksonville. Fade Jacksonville. Okay, 6.5. You want to put it on the burner, Chalk?
Yeah, let's do that for right now.
All right.
Got something in the wings.
Man, there's so much.
Go ahead, T-Bone. Go ahead, T-Bone.
Miami at the New York Giants.
Here we go. Another team we're riding. Miami at the Giants. Hold on. Give me a minute.
This is so laughable.
The Giants minus 3.5. Total 46.5. Who do you like, T-Bone?
I like the Dolphins. I mean, has anybody seen the Giants? They've lost like 10 in a row, maybe 11. Or some of them seen shit, man. They're terrible. They were winning 17-3. They roll out Manning out of mothballs.
Eli.
This dude comes in. He's on fire. They're up 17-3. The guy that he's throwing to the second half didn't target him one time.
Oh, Slayton?
Yeah, they did. They went. They scored no points the whole second half. Going against a team that I know Miami sucks. Don't get me wrong, but God, man, they should have won last week at the Jets. Yeah, you're gonna give me Miami more than a field goal when I think they'll win this game straight up. Yeah, I'll take Miami.
My only issue is the same conversation we just had about Fade and Jacksonville. We just had about Tennessee. But with that being said, Miami is 7-2
Do you
against
hate the color
spread.
green, man? I mean, what are we talking about here? A good trend's a good trend, man.
Miami's 7-2 against the spread over the last 9.
We got two different philosophies here. We got the
I'm riding the way, brother.
if it ain't broke, don't
I've already
fix it.
tasted the tasty buds. I'm riding the way.
Versus how long can this go on?
Exactly.
And right now, at this point, between these two teams, and for what I've seen, I would probably be on the Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are in line to get Chase Young at worst and lock up the number 2 pick. They're not going out of their way. Miami, now, don't get me wrong. We keep losing players to the IR every week. I don't know if Devontae Parker's going to play, and that's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
He's their number 1 wide receiver now. So,
I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm on Miami. Let's do it. T-Bone, official House Money podcast, play number 2.
The fence.
Miami plus the 3.5. I hope we keep the hook, to be honest with you.
I don't like to think too much when I've got a buzz. It's too taxing.
It's like to go to muscle memory. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, who wants to test their brain when you get a buzz? I mean, that's.
I did notice you weren't playing a Sudoku as we're over here going through the show.
I feel like it just ruins. It just
Chalkboard.
All right, with that said, there's a game that should shape up to be a good game.
Please.
Seattle at Carolina.
Seattle at Carolina. Carolina plus 6. Total 48.5. What side do you like, Chalkboard?
I think that the way that Seattle, how it went down with them last week, I think they're, and you've talked about this before, are they undefeated on the road?
Yes. They've lost all their games at home. Or, wait a second, they might have had one loss. They had one loss on the road because they lost to the Rams, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that was on the road. So it was their first road loss of the year.
I think this is like a legitimate, I know, this is cliche to death, but like a little bit of a bounce back game. I just think they're a better team than Carolina.
No, I love Seattle in this game. Love them.
I mean, since we brought up Seattle, anybody y'all know, were they on the Rams last weekend?
Who's that now?
Just curious.
I think we did have that one caller.
I mean, Seattle has covered 4 of their last 5 games, except for that game against the Rams. Carolina is, I mean, have they quit? I'm not sure.
They're dead, man.
Yeah. 0-5 straight up the last 5. 1-4 against the spread over the last 5. This is a mismatch. I love Seattle in this spot. I think they get right again. I agree with you, Chalk.
All right.
T-Bone, you're on it too?
Oh, yeah.
Let's fire. Official Housemate Podcast, play number 3.
The Seahawks.
Oh, so much good stuff out here.
Seattle minus the 6. All right. T-Bone, you're still up. Give us something.
Oh, God. Maybe I like this game too much. I don't know. I have to pinch myself.
I was going to say, I'm looking at 2 games that I feel like go ahead. What do you got?
Rams at Dallas.
Really? All right, hold on. Give me a minute. This is not where I expected you to go.
Yeah, I was looking at 2 other ones.
I see another one I love too, but I came down. I just wanted to nibble on this one real quick.
Where? Okay, the Los Angeles Rams at Dallas. Dallas plus 1. All the money coming in on the Rams. Totals 76% on the Rams. Totals 49, Dallas +1. Before you take off, T-Bone, my only issue with this game is, dude, it opened at -3. It opened at Dallas -3, and they're now +1. I can't believe there's any value left. Go ahead, T-Bone, though. Sell us.
I like the Rams. I think the Rams beat them straight up. And apparently, I guess I agree with everybody else. But I can't help it. I mean, look at the direction these teams are going in. Dallas is freaking horrible, man. They got beat at home, embarrassed by Buffalo. They're not a good team. Rams have caught fire again. I don't know. It's McVay running Gurley a lot more, using his running game. But
you heard any of that talk about Jerry possibly bringing in Urban Meyer?
Yes, I heard something like that. I mean,
for the Rams?
No, for the Cowboys. Yeah.
No, stop it.
Yeah, that's the word on the street.
The thing about Urban Meyer, was he a coach for 3 or 4 years, get headaches again, and quit? I mean, shit, man. I mean, what the hell's up with this guy?
Dallas has lost 4 of their last 5. The only win during that stretch was over Detroit. They haven't looked good. I agree with you. I'm probably on the Rams too, but I don't.
To quote E, is the value gone? Is that
What does value mean? Because here's the other thing. I'm talking about a win straight up.
Value
I don't give 2 shits about if you give me 1 point, 2 point. I feel like they're going to win. The value would be if they would have got that field goal. Yes.
Exactly.
I get that.
So now that it's out the door,
it's gone. I got to look at it like it was never there. And that's fine by me.
Because you don't need it.
I don't need it. Straight up win.
How about Chalkboard? You want to fire on this? This would be game number 4. Or you want to put it on the burner?
Let's burn it because we got 3 already in hand.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's still more to talk about.
Oh, there's plenty to talk about.
Well, this is the one that I thought you were leaning toward. If you're ready, E.
Yep. Oh, yep.
Or so if you're ready, T or E.
What do you got, Doug?
What do you think about the Bears at Green Bay?
Really?
Chicago.
I didn't think about that.
That's hard. Chicago at Green Bay. Green Bay -4.5. Totals 41. What side do you like?
Well, I like the Packers, and
yeah, I see that. Yeah.
If you just saw where Roquan Smith is now out. Aaron Jones has been playing really well.
Yeah.
This is kind of the time of year where Rodgers kind of gets in a little bit of a groove. Devontae's back right.
I got to think if
the Bears have won 3 in a row. I will give them that.
But here's what kills me about the Packers. They're not as good as they should be. They're 10-3, but it's almost like they're just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're really.
They're not a dominating 10-3. They're like
no, not at all. They barely win games, and you're just like, they beat Washington by 6 last week?
5 points. 5 points.
That was just a going through the motions looking kind of game.
It was terrible.
They got up 14-0.
Yeah,
and then just stopped playing. And they won 2015 as a 14-point favorite.
Yeah,
bad luck.
But but they took care of that. So now you got the Vikings sitting at 9-4, and like I say, if they can win this game, they can just about seal up the division.
Anything over a field goal in this game to me is just.
It is tough because I think it's the NFL's oldest rivalry, right? The Bears and the Packers.
Yeah, probably so. Gun to my head, I would take Green Bay, but I don't know.
Just a lot more 2.5 versus 4.5.
I mean, I think again we throw us on the burner, and then when it comes down to our last game,
I'm cool with that.
All right, burner or no?
Yes, burner. All right, so we got 3 burner games,
or
maybe
4.
2. Is it 4?
Yeah, that's 4. All right, hold on. Let me check us on time because there's more.
How much time we got? Because there's still some good games.
Yeah, we're good.
What about the Vikings at the Chargers? Chargers only getting 2.5, less than a field goal against a superior team. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go with your thing.
No, dude, that was a great job. The Los Angeles Chargers plus 2.5.
I mean, well, yeah. No, I want Minnesota.
I know what side you're on.
He's playing you.
Is that shit that
Don't
good?
look right at him.
Yeah, I love Minnesota. How do you not love Minnesota?
It's a lead off of my pick because Green Bay's going to win their game, and in order to keep pace, Minnesota is going to win this game.
So, what side are you on this chalkboard?
I'm on the Vikings. I think basically the Chargers are done. I think it's been a hugely disappointing season.
Oh yeah, Minnesota is legitimately one of the top teams in the
Minnesota
NFC.
and the Vikings are fighting it out for that division, and I think they're both going to win on Sunday.
Yeah, they're
But
really,
to your all's point, the Vikings will probably cover.
and I think they'll travel well with their fans.
if they do cover, it will be the first time they have since November the 10th. Not only that, they are 1-6 against the spread.
Who is?
Minnesota.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. This is really, when you think about a spread, I think about 3 or more points. This is 2.5.
That's not what I think about when I think of spread. But, hey, earlier you said trends. Oh, follow the trends, follow the trends. And now we're not following the trends because this team doesn't cover.
This really has nothing to do with football, but I'm thinking like it's December in Minnesota, and you're going out to Los Angeles for like 4 or 5 days. I think it's just like you can go out there, play in the warm weather. You're a better team. You can take care. I mean, Cook's been playing well. Thielen's gone, but I mean, is that really?
Thielen's going now, right? He's coming back this week.
He's up, down. So I mean,
supposedly supposed to play this week. So they've been on fire without him. They've been pretty good without him. So
unfortunately, I'm probably on Minnesota here as well. But I still think there's
I love it
better.
when you begrudgingly go with this.
No. But I still, because probably I think there's better games. I think this, I don't know. I mean, I'm on Minnesota. Burner, let's do Burner.
Burner game, and then tell us of one of these better games you like. It's that part of the show where we like to hear your voice.
It's getting late in the game here. I'm looking around. It's like,
all right. Well, just to clarify, this probably doesn't have the halo on it that Denver had last week.
Oh.
But with that said, this is going to cash. So
I feel redhead stepchild coming on.
That 2-0 little hooker. Philadelphia at Washington. I tried to pick the game y'all would hate the most.
I knew it.
Washington plus 4.5. Philadelphia 6-7 straight up. 4-9 against the spread. Losers of 3 of their last 4. 0-4 against the spread over the same time period. Only win was a come-from-behind victory over the Giants this past weekend. Nobody healthy. No wide receivers. Wentz has nobody to throw the ball to. The Giants had them down 17-3 at half and let the game slip away. Washington, 3-10 straight up, 6-7 against the spread, has won 2 of their last 3. I mean, they only got 3 wins all year, so that's something, right? The winners of 2 of their last 3 over Detroit and Carolina. Their one loss was at 20-15 at Green Bay, where they, as a 14-point dog, hear me out, they let Green Bay get off to a 14-point lead and didn't fold. Dude, that's signs of a team that's still playing hard.
Or maybe Green Bay just called it a day. I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at that one. It's like, damn.
I don't know, dude.
They could have been signed by 20-something they wanted to. I don't know.
But you are giving me points. And there's that thing, every week you're giving me 4.5 points. So
to a home team.
How chalkboard, take my money and give me the home dog.
How bad does Washington want to win this game? They're locked in a top 3 battle for a draft pick, man. For the number 1 pick, do they really want to go win this game?
But now if there's not a dominant number 1 now, I mean, it's a matter if you pick a 6th, 3rd.
Joe Burrow's going to be the man. It's going to be the man. Heisman winner.
Are they rolling with Haskins right now? Is that how they won those last 2 games?
Yes, but they got the number 1 pick. They can pick it and get all kinds of shit for it. First pick gets all kinds of shit.
Did you see where he won the 1 game and he wasn't there for the victory formation? He was taking selfies with the crowd.
I'll be honest with you. I don't have enough of a feel in this game to really. I just like so much other stuff better, I guess is my thing. I'm not saying it's not a winner. I mean, if
you made me, he's made compelling arguments. I guess I would take the 4.5 with the team at home.
Oh, God. But there's got to be a favorite out there somewhere that I like better.
I'm agreeing with you, and you just beat me up. He didn't even like it at all.
That was awesome.
Just for that, I like the Chiefs.
There's a favorite out there you like better. Oh, God, my face is hurting. I don't even know anymore. My face hurts.
We only got a handful left. All right, speaking of favorites, what about the Dirty Birds rolling out to San Francisco?
God, where's that at?
Atlanta at San Francisco.
Ooh.
San Francisco minus 11.
Wow.
I only did that because you called me out on the favorites.
Now, the thing is, I could see that both ways. I mean, that could get real ugly. Or San Francisco could be coming off 2 big emotional games against Baltimore and back-to-back and against New Orleans. That's got to be a letdown, doesn't it, when you come home? I don't know.
I'm glad you said it because I'm on the Falcons here. I think 11's way too many for all the reasons you just said.
So what you're saying is the Falcons are in a good spot?
Chris loves me.
I mean,
he's fighting the shot first. Are you looking for a favorite you like better?
Throw out another game, T-Bone. The hell with him.
God damn it, man.
He's just mad.
Oh, shit. Oh, wow. Not much on the. I think this game's interesting. I'm not necessarily sure who I like, but Cleveland at Arizona plus 2.5.
Ugh.
That game I don't know what intrigues me about this game. I don't know what it is. I don't know, something about it. There's a winner there. I'm just trying to.
Well, one of them's going to win. I'll agree with you.
There's somebody's going to cover either way, and I don't know.
So I don't know. We're not paying attention to that. So explain to me how come we're not on Denver plus 9.5 at Kansas City again?
Oh God.
The only thing I'm scared about is what's Mahomes going to do. I feel like we need to get there tomorrow to get the highest number that we can get.
Well, Kansas City, I mean, they're starting to round into form now. So, I mean, their defense looked really good against New England. I was shocked by that. I didn't know their defense could play that well. And their offense is only going to get better.
This is exactly what I said about Houston last week. They came off a huge win against New England on national TV.
Yeah.
They're never going to be more overvalued than they are right now. What did Denver do wrong last week by blowing Houston out?
They got the Chiefs' attention.
Yeah.
Oh, please. This is the exact same. This is the exact same number it was last week at Houston, 9.5, that I begged y'all to take.
Well, Houston to me is not Kansas City, though. That's the difference. I think Kansas City is more
capable.
I think Reed can keep them more focused. I think that they know what they have to do, whereas Houston still doesn't have that killer instinct or that whatever it takes to be a champion. They just don't
step on their throat.
Yeah.
Insert my quote from last week. They don't have to win. They only have to lose by not more than 9 points. They only play close games.
We took Kansas City a couple of weeks ago against Oakland, giving up 10, 11 points. Remember what happened there? That was a bloodletting.
40-9.
Yeah, that was a bloodletting.
That was the Raiders.
I'm not saying Denver's not better, but they got about the same record, don't they?
Night.
I mean, do they have the same record?
What is Denver?
Denver's probably got a worse record.
Let's move on.
So, how do we leave the Vikings in
That's a back burner.
Okay.
It's on the burner.
I have a feeling it's going to be the fourth.
Okay, so let's start trying to wrap this up a little bit.
Yeah, because we've went over every single game, I believe.
Other than, can I talk you on to Cincinnati plus the 9.5?
I just have no. Sooner or later, New England got to show some signs of life. I mean, I would take Cincinnati if I was.
Thank you. Any love for Cincinnati, Chalk? You like Minnesota better? I probably like Minnesota better.
Yeah, I mean, between the two, we'll probably revisit that game on the other side here in a minute.
All right. Well, then, on that note, we're getting fairly late. Y'all want to go ahead and fire on Minnesota?
Yeah, you want me to shout it out?
All right. Official House Money Podcast play number 4.
The Vikings.
Minnesota minus 2.5. Official House Money Podcast play number 4.
What was not? Oh no, there it is.
All right, and I love like how the studio is so well set up that it's like I can hear like Wonder Boy just writing on the table.
It's one of my favorite parts.
I close my eyes and I picture the cursive.
Young King Arthur, Excalibur.
All right, so are we good at 4? We're going to stick at 4?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good with 4. So then let's review those 4 real quick. Play number 1, Tennessee minus 3. Play number 2, Miami plus 3.5. Play number 3, Seattle minus 6. And play number 4, Minnesota minus 2.5. Cool. Moneyline parlay.
We ready?
T-Bone, you start. Oh, wait a minute. You started last week with that lousy-ass fucking Houston nonsense. Chalkboard, you're up.
Give me the Niners.
No, what is it? No pressure over there? Okay.
You got San Francisco. T-Bone.
I'm going to go New England.
My response as well.
I think New England's got enough to pull it out. I mean, New England needs it. Cincinnati's just trying to nurse their way into that number 1 pick, so I don't think they're going to be that motivated.
Okay.
Like you said, it's just a win.
Chalkboard.
Well, going a little bit out of character here, but I just don't see them losing this game. I'd go ahead and take Baltimore on Thursday night.
Agree.
All right. Yeah, that should have been number one, actually.
Yeah, I forgot about that game.
Yeah,
I was to say where it's tucked away over in the Thursday corner. I didn't see it.
I feel like another fairly easy winner, honestly. Seattle. Considering we laid the 6 with them.
Yeah. How about the Saints? How many would that be?
That would be 5 with the Saints, correct?
Yeah, that's 5.
Do we not take Kansas City at home?
After Denver just beating Houston on the road, who's to say they can't do it here? And then what if we find out 3 days from now Mahomes is not playing? Who's gonna?
Oh, you're okay. To your point, his hand.
Oh yeah, no, he kept playing with his hands.
He kept playing, and Reed said he was going to play.
I think
they said
got
it's
to have him.
bruised.
This is the home stretch.
Yeah, this
man.
is the
3 games left. They're going to win this game. They ain't going to lose this game at home. Oh no.
Kansas City scored 3 points in the second half of that game the other day
Against who?
against New England because he couldn't throw the ball down the field. They were protecting him.
Well, I think it was his hurt hand, but T-Bone has said like several times before that Belichick is like a defensive guru. I mean, I think there's where he takes things away.
Yeah, I mean,
T-Bone said all kinds of shit, dog. That's not exactly a ringing endorsement.
True.
T-Bone's on fire.
You can't go to
Choice
any
cut 4-0.
in any men's room sports bar bathroom and not see a T-Bone quote written somewhere.
Well, that don't sound good. What kind of quote?
What else?
Call me. Jesus. Damn.
If you're looking for the
If you're
T-Bone,
looking for a good time, here's T-Bone's number. What?
What
It's
else
for
is
the
out?
women's number. Women's room.
so did we take the Saints?
We took the Saints. What about Tennessee?
How did the cat get in here?
He's been here the whole time,
Has he
dude.
really?
What
He
about,
got your number.
Christ.
what about Tennessee?
So we would rather take Tennessee than Kansas City, is what you're saying.
Okay, good point.
Well, we're taking both. What's wrong
Well,
with
I
it?
mean, if we took Tennessee and we've already got the Saints, I'd give us 7.
Who
We
cares?
get better odds with Tennessee.
We're trying to hit one of these, dude. Hold on, forget that. What about Oakland? Jacksonville's not going to win that game, right? Jacksonville's
think
not
so.
going
It
to
was the theory of them winning the last game ever in the black hole.
That's fine by me.
All right, Oakland.
We taking that over Kansas City?
No, we might add Kansas City, too, because we got, to your point, we got to roll up here.
Yeah.
All right, if we do that, let's take the Raiders and the Chiefs then. That should
time
give
we
us a
got?
nice. We're going to talk till the windows open tomorrow.
No, we're good, dude. We're good.
We
We're
got a
fine.
couple minutes.
I know, we got a couple minutes right where we're at. So right now we got Baltimore, New Orleans, Seattle, New England, Oakland, and San Francisco.
Is that good enough?
I don't know. Is there anything else out there?
Well, the Chiefs or no? You just hate them that much? You think your boys are going to rise to the occasion? That would give us 7 again.
It's a Drew Lock.
If we don't hit this 7 team, I promise it won't be because of the Chiefs.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, it's been at least what six days since Denver did that last. I mean, yeah, it's not like it's completely unheard of. I mean, Jesus Christ, the paint's not even dry on the.
Me getting off
it's
3
the-
times in one night's
it's the-
not unheard of, but I ain't going to do it 2 nights in a
The
row.
largest,
So, yes, I don't think Denver can do it 2 times in a row.
no, Denver will not win another game. Unfortunately, we love our people in Colorado, but it is what it is.
All right, what else is out there?
Is that what I sound like?
Are we gonna add anything to this? Is it possible to add anything to
No,
this?
it's like the Hindenburg. That thing's loaded down, man. Jesus.
T-Bone, you're not on Kansas City.
I mean, I don't care. I'm good. I got a buzz, man. I don't get 2 shits. I feel good.
I'd rather take Minnesota. Chargers ain't winning.
Wow. I think I'd rather Kansas City in that spot. Kansas City at home for the playoffs.
Kansas City's probably the third. There's 3 games that we already got that I don't
Kansas
like.
City's
with
one of the
Kansas
best teams in the AFC. They're probably the 2nd best, actually, in the AFC.
Well, they've already played once. What was
Let's
that
just
score?
do 6. Let's just do 6.
Seriously?
Just screw Kansas.
To your point last week, why wouldn't we take the big spread?
It was a 7-teamer last week.
Yeah, who
This is the
cares?
same team in the same spot. Oh my God!
Did we take Tennessee? Did we take them or no?
It's like Groundhog Day.
I know I'm fucked up here. Did we take Tennessee in this thing?
If you're talking about taking one more between Tennessee and the Vikings, I'd probably take. Who would you take there?
Oh, I take Tennessee. I like Tennessee to win this game. I mean, they're going to be freaking.
Let's get a low
psycho.
number. Let's get a low number. Let's get Tennessee. I mean, if we got to have a
let's-
7,
Yeah. There you go. That sounds good.
there's nothing decent we have. We have a 14.5, a 8,
We
a
took
6,
Oakland. God, I'm kind of scared of Oakland for some reason.
6.5. No way.
Shouldn't be. Yeah, shouldn't be.
Tennessee, yes, no. Tennessee, or just take the 6 we got and roll?
I don't care. I'm good either way.
Chalkboard.
So
Add Tennessee, or all right, we'll take the 6 we got.
We
Baltimore.
could have took Green Bay.
Baltimore, New Orleans, Seattle, New England, Oakland, and San Francisco. Those 6. Baltimore, New Orleans, Seattle, New England, Oakland, and San Francisco.
Okay.
All right. Goodness gracious. That was like
Yeah,
going
it's
to
like
the
pull
dentist.
teeth. It was.
Look at that. Same
Yeah,
reference.
same genre or something. Genre.
Genre. Chalkboard. Crystal ball predictions. Le'Veon Bell, touchdown, New York Jets last week. How'd he do?
he went bowling. So I'm gonna call that.
He bowled a 251.
I
Not
saw
bad.
that.
Not bad.
So yeah, didn't realize that he was going to take the night off. So that crystal gutter ball was kind of a no play.
Crystal gutter ball.
I understand. Who you got this week?
This week we're looking to get back off the schneid. Going out to our friends in the Motor City. Danny Amendola will catch a touchdown this week. With Marvin Jones out for the season, I think they're going to really lock down on Galladay. I don't know if Amendola scored all year. If he did, it was at the very beginning, maybe week 1 or 2, but nothing within the last couple of months.
I didn't even realize he was still playing football.
Oh, yeah. He actually has like almost 100 receptions.
Good for him. T-Bone, choice cut.
Choice cut. I'm not 4-0. 4-0. 4 in a row. 4-0. I don't know what I did before them. I was 2, whatever. But anyways, 4-0. I'm going for 5 in a row right here. Take the Buffalo Bills plus the 2 points at Pittsburgh. They're going to win straight up. That's the pick.
I knew just to screw with me, your choice cut was going to be the Chiefs. Then I'd have just had like,
Yeah, I mean, man, the Chiefs.
which will have the
under
largest
10.
margin of victory this week.
Yeah, Chiefs under 10. Oh, Lord, that could get ugly.
I'm not being swayed by you, Chalkboard. I'm just letting you know.
Not listening to my sweet nothings.
At all. Please follow us on Twitter. The show can be found at @HouseMoneyPod. I'm the host at @easy_housemoney. Chalkboard.
Chalkboard can still be found at chalkboard, CHALKBORED_HM.
And T-Bone, I want you to know, shout out to my man Chalkboard. 1,004 followers.
Sweet.
Nice job, Chalkboard.
We try to keep some sort of social media presence, and I do appreciate everybody kind of jumping on comments out there, and we love you guys. I know sometimes we got to pick these picks, so sometimes I know tease a little aggressive on if he doesn't like a particular team. It's no reflection of the city. We love everyone.
I know you're very interactive with your followers. I really appreciate that. Considering you just started that page at the beginning of last season.
Yeah.
I mean, easy math, 500 a season, dude. That great job.
And the fact that we just, we kind of shut it down for a few months. So
I hear you, brother.
Appreciate all you guys.
There you go. As always, shout out to our executive producer, Dallas Jenkins. Fellas, week 15. It's in the books. We only got a couple weeks left. You got anything else, Chalkboard?
I think the mantra is to finish strong. That's like you say, we got this week and 2 more, so let's just keep it going. What do you think, T?
Yeah, it's going fast. I mean, it is. It's crazy to think we've only got 3 weeks left.
Yeah, and now we're making money, so I hate to see it end, to be honest with you, but that's how it goes. All right, fellas, week 15, House Money Podcasts. We're out.